Shay, welcome to the show.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Something I've just been speaking about with people on the podcast recently is hard work.
Mm.
And as MMA fighters, I think it's one of the most obvious things to people who are in the sport, but maybe not so obvious to people outside of the sport. So I wondered if you could give your relationship with hard work. What is your relationship with hard work?
I think my relationship with I don't really have a relationship with it. I feel like since I was 15, I've been a full-time fighter. So kind of everything I do is just around fighting, no matter what it's been, like family occasions, this, that, and the other. It's like the work comes first. So for me, it's just, would you say it's second nature? Like sort of like it's just ingrained in me. It's always been just go to the gym, turn up, do your best, go home, rest, back again, stuff like that. So I think it's just normal for fighters. Like I mean, look at people will be like, oh, can't you take a rest day today? But it's more of like, I feel like your hard work is like a mental thing. Sometimes, some days you don't want to turn up to the gym. Sometimes you don't want to work hard, but as soon as that warm up's out the way, you're ready to go. You're ready to rumble, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Me and Oliver Terra always talk about it. We get there on a Saturday morning. It's been a long week, and we look at each other and go, long week this has been. Yeah, let's get this one out of the way. And then as soon as we've warmed up, we're having a world title fight basically in the wrestling exchanges. But you know, it's one of them. I couldn't. I don't know how to really explain a relationship with it. I think it's not a love hate. I love the hard work sort of thing. Like I love being able to wake up in the morning and think, oh, I've got some hard rounds today, and I'm gonna get through them, and then we're gonna rest, and then we're gonna go again tomorrow, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think as I've got older, one of the things that I've stopped doing is associating, or sorry, started doing is associating the outcome with the work. So, say like before I have to go training, it's not even just a physical thing. Even like doing the podcast, sometimes there's days where I'm like, oh fucking hell, I've got to have a
Yeah,
lot of caffeine to get going for a
yeah, yeah,
podcast today. You know, but the thing that I've started to realize as I've got older is to associate the outcome or think about the outcome instead of, oh fucking hell, I don't feel like doing it,
yeah.
because
You
then
know what? That's a really good way of looking. Like it's the same as like the fighter. Like you look at it, think I don't want to do this training session today, but then you realise in 5 weeks down the line, you've got to get in the cage half naked and have a fight with someone. And if you don't put this hard work in, then you're going to be in that cage thinking, "Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't do this." So that's a real good way of putting it. Like you're leaving no stone unturned, really. When you get in that, when I get in the cage, I like to know I've done everything I can here. So let's just get the result now, sort of thing. And I think every fighter will have that same thought. Like I've put all the work in I can. Now it's time to just go show it on the big stage. And I think, like you're saying, that's a really good way of looking at it.
have you ever had a time, obviously you're quite early into your MMA career, but have you ever had a time where maybe you've not put the hard work in and either you've noticed it or something hasn't gone your way?
Um, not really with the hard work side. I think my last amateur, no disrespect to my opponent, I didn't really. I took it serious, but it weren't like. I had a lot of people saying, "Oh, you're going to run through this kid, this, that, and the other," because he technically he wasn't the best, and I kind of fed into that a little, and I was a bit like, you know what, yeah. So it was kind of like everything was. It wasn't I weren't putting the hard work, and it was like maybe I weren't recovering properly. Sometimes I was having an extra cheat meal when I shouldn't have been doing that, so it just made the weight cut a bit harder. But like, I'm lucky enough to be able to. I got through that fight, and I still got through it quite like with flying colours. But it's one of them. I made the mistake there, and I said to myself, "Listen, you're going pro now. You've got to treat this professionally." Like I was treating it professionally since I was 15, but that was the one fight where I was just a bit like, "Oh, I'll just go in there and wrestle him," sort of thing. Like that's how I used to think it amateur. But after that, I was there like, right, I need to really clean up on these things. No matter what people say, if I'm fighting the worst fighter in the world, I've still got to get in there and do the business and make sure that my preparation has been perfect. And I think that contributed to going to Subzone. I think having like a head coach. At Renegade, there was no head coach. Like no one we didn't have a head
Oh,
coach there. No, no, no. We never had a head
is
coach.
there not now?
No, I don't think so. No, no, no. Leon had Dave. Dave was his kind of sort of head coach, but I never had a head coach there. I kind of just sorted my things out. Spoke with Tom Breeze. He sorted my stuff out a bit with the jiu-jitsu. But whenever I was fighting, it was whoever could corner me on the day turned up and cornered me. Whereas now I have a set corner everything's like I turn up to training. Cam gives me a plan. This is what we're doing today. That's what you want to work on. We'll do this, and I think my results have shown. Like if you watch my first 10 fights, from my first fight to my first professional, you can see the difference from, well, even my first professional fight to the next three I did. Like the first one was really hard, but to be fair, I can't take any, like I can't discredit Mark and Gacha. I mean, that guy, I think that's the toughest opponent I'll probably face out of like my whole career. But like when I had a structure, all my fights have gone to perfect. So that's kind of what it's down to as well, I think.
Yeah, I came to I was at your last fight in Manchester,
Mm.
and it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was yourself and Oliver. Was there someone else who fought from
Jack
Subzone on the night?
McLaughlin, yeah, he had a real tight fight. Yeah, yeah,
I remember looking at. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to like all the coaches and that,
yeah, yeah,
and I've been a bit of a like fanboy of Subzone for ages.
yeah, yeah.
And I went to the fights with my mate, and I was like, "Oh, that's Cam from Subzone," and he was like, "What?" And I was like,
Well,
"Oh, don't worry about it." And but what really stood out to me was like the you're talking there about having a system in place, and that was kind of one of the things that stood out from watching yourself and Oliver in
Mm.
particular, where you just looked like you had an answer for every problem. And then I saw a video afterwards of the corner work
The corner,
from
yeah,
when, yeah,
yeah,
from when
yeah,
you
yeah,
had the dude up against the fence and
yeah,
right in front of
yeah,
the corner.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, this is a real. I think that's one of the differences between like gyms that do okay and gyms that really thrive is the
yeah,
systems that they have in
yeah,
place.
yeah.
And can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, Subzone is looked at as like a grappling gym, of course. Like it is a heavily grappling gym. I mean, it fitted my style, so I was perfect to go in there and get the work in straight away. But none of us really have a style. We kind of just lock down on the basics. We're always about the basics. None of this fancy flashy stuff. It's like, right, we're gonna go in and we're gonna dominate, sort of thing. We want people to look at us and think, fucking hell, he's wow schooled. Look at them. They're doing everything perfect to a T. All the basics are down. Not worrying about the flashy stuff, and they're just. We want to be known as like brutal. Do you know what I mean? Like we go in there, we we do the damage, we get the win, and we're respectful and leave. We don't do any talking. It's not like we're the best gym, blah blah blah. We like to let the results do the talking. That's what Cam's always said. We'll just let the results do the talking. And as you can see, like it's working. Like you see that corner, the corner Cam as well. Like Cam's like he doesn't mince his words. That's the best thing about it. Like a lot of people can overcomplicate it in the corner. Like oh, do like I don't know, like fancy jujitsu word for something. But Cam will just go right, stick your dick in him, which is crazy. When if you just watch it from the side, you're there like what the fuck. But like it's quite easy to know for me. Oh, he wants me to put my hips in, stick my dick in it, blah blah blah. So it's like it's perfect for me. Like it's quick, it's simple, everything's easy to get across. And as soon as we come back, like when I come back out the corner for that one, he was there like, oh, how is it? I said, oh, it sounds like he's not that strong on the floor. I said he had a good left hook 'cause he hit me in the hand with a left hook and it killed my hand. And I was there like, right, it's time to get him down. I don't want to give him a chance here. And he said, right, rinse and repeat then. He said, just get him back down and you'll finish him this round. And that's what happened, lucky enough. So it's just nailing the basics. We're all about nailing the basics, really.
Yeah, I think like from watching Oliver's fight as well, it just looked like there was a real when he turned one way, he knew exactly where to go to next, and it just ended up in the finish, like with yours as well.
Yeah.
And it was one of those like it was obvious compared to some other fights on the night, like oh that's been drilled the fuck into them. Like
Yeah.
they know
Oh,
exactly what
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
moves here, I do this for every single thing.
Yeah. It's literally just like we love to have an answer for everything. If someone does this, we do that. If someone does this, we do that. It's sort of like that's what we're looking for. It's like it's nullifying. We like to nullify. What it feels like. Cam wants us to go in there. It makes someone feel like they can't do anything from the striking all the way down to the grappling. At the moment, like you're watching Oliver's performances, my performances, Jack McLaughlin's performances. That's what's happening, and I think that's just going to carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on.
Editing's a
Yeah,
wonderful
that class, mate.
thing. What is something that most people don't know about being an MMA fighter that maybe even you didn't understand before you started?
It's quite a cliche one, but the sacrifices. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifices that get put into it. Like, I mean, like I was saying, I started being a full-time fighter at 15. I did my GCSEs. I failed most of them, and it was like, right, I'm in the gym. I was in the gym with Jai, Leon, Aiden, day in, day out, day in, day out. And like, I never got to experience. I'm not saying I didn't experience like a teen life, but I didn't like. There was no like parties, this that, and the other. It was real like training, 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 training. And listen, I'm not sat here having a whine and a moan about it. Like, I'm glad I did that because look at the position I'm in now. Like, I'm only 4-0, but I've got a massive fight in 2 weeks' time. Like, this could mean I've got a title shot next or a contender series call up when I get a big finish here. That I feel like that's going to happen. But like the sacrifices, even to now, like my mates will go out to the pub. I don't go, sit at home, and they're like, it would be nice to go out with the boys, but I've got a job to do. Unfortunately, it's kind of a bit like when it's all said and done, I'll look back and think I'm glad I did those things. So definitely the sacrifices that get put in are like people don't like when I tell people like what I sacrificed. They're like, "Oh, you don't do this, don't do that." Like, no, and you go like 8 weeks out. Oh, you can have a pint here and there. They're like, "No, I can't, I can't." And they're like, "Nah, you can." But it's one of them. People don't really understand. It's just like people think, "Oh, you get an occasion, you do 15 minutes of work, easy," but they don't see the 8 weeks of the build up, 8 weeks of the dieting, 8 weeks of just being sore. But it's one of them. Like I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it that way. I like the mental side of it. Thinking right, I'm bunkered in here. Like I've got my little group of people. I go in, I train, I get the work in, and then on the night I'm going to get the finish, and I can celebrate after for a week, and then I'm back in the gym. I'm not even that. Like I'm normally back in the gym on the Tuesday. If I've got no injuries, I'm just straight back to the gym, enjoy myself a little, but that's it. But definitely the sacrifices. Probably the hard work. People say to me, "Oh, will you just train in Worcester?" I'm like, "No, I drive to Manchester in the morning for 2 hours, do my training, come back, maybe go hit pads, do a run, this, that, and the other." You're doing like 2-3 sessions a day, and people are like, "Oh, you don't need to do all that." But it's for me, it's more of a mental thing. I feel like I've always been one where like I feel like I'm not doing enough. But I had to dial that back. I had to be like, right, you are doing enough. Just chill yourself. Like you need to rest, focus on recovery, which is what I've been doing since I got to Subzone. So it's definitely working.
Something about like sacrifices. I like to think about things a bit too deeply sometimes.
Nah,
So
you
tell
think
me to
about it
shut up
deeply,
if you
man.
want.
Yeah, yeah. No.
But people say like, "Oh, I'm or like you're sacrificing like having a good time or having a
Mm,
pint with your mates or whatever the fuck it is."
mm,
But yeah, you're sacrificing that. But what are they sacrificing by doing that?
mm.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
because
yeah,
you're going to get something more meaningful to yourself out of your life by sacrificing those pints or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
But they're sacrificing having that meaningful thing by doing that, if that makes sense. And it's not
yeah,
talking shit
yeah.
about them,
No,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're
I feel like it's better for someone like me because when I get to have that pint, I've got a better feeling from it. I earned this sort of thing. I earned this. Whereas, like, I see the people who go out every weekend, and I'm a bit like, you haven't earned that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's like you turning up and doing it every week. It's like me going to the gym and thinking, I earned this. I earned this. But no, this is what I got to do. But I feel like I know what you're saying, and there's like a big thing, like, where, like, I love a post fight meal. No, I'm thinking of like what I'm gonna have in 2 weeks' time. I'm there like, oh, what am I gonna have? Buffalo wings, chips. Yeah, nice. When I have that, I'm there like, yeah, I earned this. I deserve to eat this. But like, if I was to eat that now, I'd be like, nah, you don't deserve that. You haven't earned this yet. You need to get back in the gym. You need to get this win, and then you can eat that. But I know where you're coming from. Like, what have they sacrificed to get just to have that pint? Like, oh, you've had a long day at work, which is fair enough. Like, I got mates who like I got a lad who works in Macca's, and trust me, I couldn't do that. I couldn't work in Macca's. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. There's too much just with the public and everything. Like I understand where he probably thinks, oh, you know what, I've earned this pint today, but I feel like putting myself through a lot of physical effort and a lot of mental effort for 8 weeks, staying away from it is a lot more like rewarding than that. And I don't want to come across as like out of touch there, but like that's how
I
I
don't think it
feel.
is out of touch.
I wouldn't like to think it is, but it's just like people will be like, "Oh yeah, but you've got it good there," sort of thing. Whereas I'm a bit like, but I haven't know like this has been my life since I was 6. Like, I don't know
Well,
any different.
yeah, like you've got it good until in 2 weeks' time when you step in the cage and have to have a fist fight with another man.
That's
Like
yeah. You are
you
right.
know, it
Yeah.
like as much as you choose to be a fighter, like it's not. I'm sure you still. I don't know how do I word this. Like you want to fight, but it's still not a necessarily nice, enjoyable thing to go through. You know.
You know what? When I was an amateur, I didn't like it. It was always like I love training. I've always loved training. Like that is number one. I love getting to the gym, having the crack with the lads. But it was always the night I'd be riddled with crippling anxiety. I fought Thomas Owen in 2022, and I the last time I fought was July 21, and I cut my eye and I couldn't fight in November. And I just remember being stood behind the curtain. Mate, I wanted to go home. Like crippling anxiety wanting to go home. But like I got in there, got it done. But like from now, when I went pro, I enjoy it. There's a lot of enjoyment about getting to the fight now. Like as soon as I turn up to the venue on the night, that's where I feel the best. I'm like, right, it's time now, sort of thing. Whereas, but I know where you're coming from. A lot of people will be like, Oof, I've got to go for a fight here. Whereas I do feel that if I'm sat in the hotel and like say I've got to be at the venue for 6:30 and it's 6 o'clock, I'll sit in the hotel thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing with my life? I could literally just go work with my dad, fit some windows. Yeah, I'm going to be cold. It's not going to be nice, but I could be doing that, earning a good wage. But like, I, I don't know what I'd be doing if I did that. I think, I don't know. I wouldn't be in a good mindset if I was doing that, I think.
Have you ever worked like a regular job? I don't like using that term, but
Not a regular job. I work with my dad. Like after a fight, he fits windows. He's got his own business, so I do that. Sometimes I do it in camp on a Sunday when I got a rest day and he needs some help. But that's as far as it's gone. And I mean, every time I go and do that, I sit there after in the van, coming home thinking, "Shit, I got to make it." Because I can't fucking do this. Like as bad as it sounds, like I look and I think, you know what? Like my dad's made a lot of sacrifices for me. My mom and my dad. Like, I mean, my mom used to work 2 jobs. She used to work at like 3 in the morning till 7, and then take me training when I couldn't drive, like at a hospital. And then my dad would work through the day and then take me to training on the night. So like they've made so many sacrifices for me where I haven't had to do that. And I mean, I'm very lucky. I'm in a very lucky position to be able to do that. But I think it's just like it's really good having people who like behind you who like not want to see you when like they really want me to go somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people's parents aren't very supportive, whereas my parents have been supportive since day one, and like I couldn't ask for any better parents really. I mean like I'm saying, from 15 I've never had a job. I left school and my dad went, "Nah, you're not gonna go to college. You're not gonna do an apprenticeship. You're gonna train, and if you don't want to do that, you're gonna go and work with me." So I said, right, I'm gonna have to train then, and look where I am now. I mean, the results are paying off, aren't they?
how old are you now?
I'm 22. I'm 22 now. Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'm starting to feel old, man. I'm only 23, so I'm only like a year older
No,
or so.
I'm the same, mate. I was in the gym yesterday and 2 lads come in and they went, "Oh, I'm 20." One was 20 and one was 21. I was thinking, "Fuck, that used to be me in the gym." Like I used to be the young one. And people go, "Oh, you're only that." Oh, whoa. Now I'm the one going, "Oh, you're only that." I'm like, Jesus, but
Yeah.
time passes by, don't it? Time passes by, but
Yeah.
I'm still young in the game. But like I've been doing it years now, so it feels like I've been doing it for just forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think everyone should have some form of fight in their life, and how do you think that would benefit people?
I don't know about a fight. I definitely combat training. Yeah, I mean, like if it's from like jujitsu, maybe even like karate. I mean, like just a bit of like combat discipline, just so people
Mm.
think like, oh right, there's like you could really hurt. So like you see, like we were talking about going for pints. You see lads on the weekend go have a fight. Some people ruin their lives having a fight, like, and then because they don't really know, like, oh, they watch like Tyson Fury on the telly, he gets a knockout, the next person gets up, but in the street that don't happen. And I think it would just like the world would be a much more mellow place if everyone knew a bit of combat. I reckon, like, everyone would be a bit more chilled out. There's no hostile because people get like people get Larry for no reason. You're there like, why are you doing it? But I think definitely someone that you should at least train, like a jujitsu session if you don't want to get punched, or a boxing session. I mean, like it would just everyone would just be a lot happier. I think.
Yeah, I think it would make people a lot more respectful as well. Like
Yeah.
I get, so I've been training for. I don't compete. I've had a couple
Mm.
of like low level kickboxing matches, but I've been training for like 7 years this year. So and I can hold myself to an okay standard.
Mm.
Like nothing special, but I'm all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and I often get people because like I'm not one of those guys who goes around unless you look at my Instagram, maybe.
yeah.
That's a very niche version of myself. But general day to day life, I'm not someone who goes around being like, "Oh, I'll beat you up. I can do this. I can
That's
do
yeah,
that." Like,
yeah, yeah.
But I think a lot of people who haven't trained do
Do
weirdly,
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
is really
yeah.
bizarre.
It's
It's
crazy,
really
mate.
bizarre.
It is crazy.
And I think a lot of people could do with a little bit of training because it's always like maybe they'll start picking on someone who's like, you know, trained a little bit and they've never trained in their life and they start talking shit and it's like, well, you shouldn't, like, you don't know what you're dealing with there,
It's
like,
mental, mate. It's mental. Like I'm to be fair, I'm looking. I'm in I live in a small city. Worcester's quite a small city, so my mum and dad are quite well known, so everyone knows who I am. So I've never had to deal with any like hostile stuff, but I see it all the time. People like act the big un. We say they're acting the big un. I'm thinking that's you don't know a jab from a cross. Like if I put my hand up and say jab, you're at me with your right hand. So I'm a bit like I
yeah,
don't know why they do it, but the world's a weird place, mate. A lot of people have a lot of ego, and I think that's what combat sport training probably does for like your ego comes down. Like when you're in a gym and you're getting pieced up by like a 16-year-old, you're thinking, fucking hell, mate, like what the fuck's going on here? Do you know what I mean? Like it would really like mellow people out. Their ego would come down and think, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't go around acting like this, but it's never going to happen. Everyone loves to be the hero, don't they? That's the problem.
yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. Like, so have you heard of a gym called BST?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I occasionally go up there, sort of like once every 2-3 weeks, something like
Mm.
that. It's about 2 hours away from me.
Yeah.
But I like going up there. And the first time I went up there, I went against. They've got an amateur there. I can't remember his name now. But he's only like 17, something like that. And he
Mm.
like absolutely fucked me up.
Yeah, yeah,
Just,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
there was this small, unassuming kid, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I had like a fucking headache and a nosebleed, and I was like,
It's
"Jesus
mental, isn't it,
Christ!"
mate? It's mental. It's mental. It's mental. The worst of it was I used to be that kid. I used to dish them out. That was the problem. I used to dish them out, and they were going, "How old are you, mate?" I was like, "I'm 15." They were like, "Oh, okay." But like, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I see it all the time. I'm thinking, "Oh, they pick the littlest kid in the room." I'm looking, thinking, "Oh, you've made a poor decision there. Like a poor decision." Like, but it is what it is, isn't it, mate? You're like, people are mental.
Yeah, man. Can you tell me about the first time you competed and sort of the changes from your mindset between then and how you compete now? And yeah, can you talk a little bit about that?
So I started off kickboxing at 6. So I don't know when my first. Don't know how old I would have been. Maybe I would have been about 8 when I had my first like proper like just like a. I think it was a continuous match. They called it. They used to call it continuous matches. Like you just
Okay.
have a fight for a few minutes. But like I used to be like riddled with anxiety. So like I'd either throw up or I'd cry continuously before the fight. But like at the time I don't think I enjoyed it. But like the first time I had like a proper competition was jujitsu. In for about 2 years, I never won a jiu-jitsu match. Every time I went into a
Mm.
jiu-jitsu comp, I lost, subbed in about a
How
minute.
many how many did you do?
Oh, jiu-jitsu comps. I think I must have done about 8, 9 by the
Okay.
time I'd finished. But like my first 4, I think. I think it must have been about 4. Lost, smashed, and it was always just a bit like, at least I competed. I kind of had that mentality. At least I got in there and had a go. Like, and then it was one time I turned up and I was a bit like, what? Like, I'm decent. I'm half decent. So why am I just accepting losing here? So then I turned up, and then since then I was winning. I was winning. I was winning. But like my mindset now, it's like, of course I want to win. Like I want to go in there and win all the time. Like no matter how I win, it doesn't bother me. But I always look for just a great performance now. I want to kind of go in there and people look at me and think, shit, this kid's really, really good. And I think the mindset to that is like, going back to the hard work thing. I'm like in the gym, making sure everything's perfect. If I do something wrong, I'm there like, right, let me do that again. Let me perfect it. Let's go again. Whereas before, I think I was a bit like, I'm doing this quite well. Maybe I'll get it better, but it's working, so I'll stay there. So I think it's the mindset switch was just like, I'm a bit like, I love to perfect everything now. Like I'm a bit. I don't know if it's autistic. Like it has to be perfect before I move on. If we move on in the gym and I haven't done something right, on my 2 hour drive home's awful because I'll just be stewing about it. I'll be there like, I need to get this right. So tomorrow I'll go in the gym and I'll get it right, and then I'm all right. But I think it's just, I just love being a perfectionist. I want everything to be perfect. Like when I that last fight, I was fuming. I was like, you after I was like on top of the world. Watch the fight back at 4 in the morning on Fight Pass. I'm sat in the bed, I'm stewing. I'm like, I could have done this, could have done that, could have done this, could have done that, could have done this. But like, I think every fighter's like that. I remember, I know Tero had that fight. He looked amazing, and he's like in the back going, right, I need to get this done. But that's the good thing about the gym as well. Like we're all just perfectionists. So then we're back in the gym, we're getting everything right, and then it's going to pull off. But yeah, I think just having the mindset of just being technically sound, like perfecting things. Whereas like when I was younger, it was just, oh, I'm going to compete. If I win, I win. That's all I'm caring about. Whereas now it's more like, I want to go in there and just everything needs to be perfect. If I can go in this next one and not get hit, put on the performance of my life, I'll be happy. But I probably still won't be happy because I'll find something, one little thing, and I'll be like, right, back in the gym Tuesday, let me drill this, let me get this down, and that's what's going to happen. But I think it's that.
That's kind of the like, don't want to sound too deep about it, but like the gift and the curse of being really driven and focused on something,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
no matter what, no matter how well you're perceived to have done, you're always like, oh nah, but there was this little thing
There
that
was
I could have
this.
done
There was it.
better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
always it's the same fact of me, like, because I'm in a small city. Everyone says I'm really, really good, but I've never ever believed it. Whenever someone says, "Oh, you're doing really well, you're doing really good," oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, nah, no, no, no. Like I've always been like that. I've never thought I was any good. And like, to be fair to the point now, I don't think I'm any good. I'm just a bit like, I'm getting the wins. I'm racking them up. I'm like, it'll probably be about 10 years down the line after I've retired. I'll look back and go, oh, you know what? I was half decent actually. But I think if you don't have that mindset, like you're not going to get anywhere. Unfortunately, like it's one of them.
yeah,
Like,
well, yeah, if if I put a video out that does really well, and then I'm like, I'm fucking sick, aren't I? And then I don't worry about doing anything else and trying to do the next video. Like, well, what was the point in doing that video that did really well?
that's
It's
the
the same
problem.
with
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah, 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 yeah. 100%, mate. 100%.
Uh, uh, yeah, I think that's one of the things that martial arts sort of like I say, I don't compete, but it's for me there's a few things to martial arts. Like, yeah, you can go down the competition route, but for me personally, and for a lot of the larger proportion of people who train martial arts, it's like, what is it teaching you?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
what are you actually getting from martial arts? And for me, that was one of the biggest things where I was like, first time I did an armbar, I was like, what? I dragged their arm across here, and it was just a fucking mess.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now I can do it without like having to think about all those little
It's
things, and
it's
I've
it's
got
literally
better
just
at
a
it.
flow state, isn't it? It's like a flow state. It works. There it is. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I always like to sort of, I don't know, like I think I told you a little bit about like why I did the podcast and that,
Hmm.
and like what I like to ask about on the podcast is like there's a lot of interviews where they'll be like, "Oh, so how are you feeling about your next fight?" And it's like, okay, yeah, like cool. That's it
Yeah,
could be kind of
yeah,
interesting, but
yeah,
like the deeper things of like, if someone listens to this podcast and goes, "Oh, I've took that away from it, and now I can apply it to my own training or a
yeah,
situation I've got in my life," like surely that's the better thing. And for me, that's what martial arts is about, and like the things that it can teach you outside of competition. And yeah, like is there anything that, obviously we spoke about like hard work and all of that, but is there something that martial arts has taught you about either life or just anything sort of a little bit broader than just like the 1-2 or whatever, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of discipline. It's taught me a lot of discipline. I think a lot of people will say that like you've got to just be consistent in life. Like you can't kind of go about half-ass. Like just I'll do this today, I'll do that today, I'll do this because you never really get anywhere, do you? If I say, "Oh, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, but on Tuesday I'm going to have the day fully off," because I trained today. Like I think it's taught me a lot of discipline. Like when I was younger, I never used to think about that. Like I was a fat kid. I still kind of am a bit fat. People will say, but I was a fat kid. Like, and then as soon as I turned 15, went full time. Like, I slimmed down, this, that, and the other, and like it's just all discipline. I think I got taught a lot of discipline. I think that's probably it. I mean, I haven't really had a normal life. It sounds mental. Like I've been a full time fighter since I was 15. Who can really say that? Like, you know what I mean? So
Mm.
it's mental.
Yeah. Did you say you didn't go to college, you didn't do anything
No.
like that, you just dropped out and trained?
Literally, yeah. I did my GCSEs, and then I think I did my I got my GCSE results, and I was sparring on the night. And that was it. Yeah, straight up. I remember I had my first fight against Jack Starr in Easter holidays, and I was meant to be revising, and the teachers all bollocked me. That's how long I've been doing it for. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was cutting. I remember I was not cutting weight. I was dieting in science, and I didn't really have a nutritionist at the time. And I remember just being in science class, like on the Friday, just being like the Friday before the fight, thinking, I've got to cut my carbs on Sunday. I'm thinking like, oh, just not taking any notice of what's going on. And yeah, I failed science, so there we go. Like, but yeah, I can't remember what I think I passed PE. Was probably about it. Maybe
Yeah.
English. I think I passed one of the English ones as well. But like, yeah, it's just crazy, mate.
I
Crazy.
think I think it like I've always had a bit of a, I was never the smart kid in school or
Mm.
anything, and and I've always had a bit of a sort of problem with the education system in terms of that. Like, there's so much emphasis put on GCSEs, and like there was kids in my school who were having panic attacks and
Yeah, 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 yeah,
thinking their
yeah.
whole life was over at the age of 16
It
over
was mental, mate.
some
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
grades.
Yeah, I remember my teachers used to. I got kicked out of revision classes because I just wouldn't do anything in the revision class. Because I'd be sat there thinking, I'm going to train in an hour. I'm getting picked up. I'm going to train. I don't want to be doing any of this. So they kicked me out of the revision classes, and it was always, oh, what if fighting don't work out? And I was there like, well, it's not gonna. Well, no, I mean it's gonna work out. So like. And they're like, oh, now what if it don't? I said, I work with my dad, like fit windows. Nah, you can't do that. I'm like, why can't I do that? But like, it was mental. Like I remember seeing kids as well having like panic attacks, like endlessly revising. Oh no, I can't do this. I'm revising. I'm thinking like, lads, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going training tonight for 4 hours. Like, nah, don't worry about that. You'll be sound like. But I had supportive parents. I mean, I remember my dad. My mom and dad went to a parents' evening once, and they went, "Oh, Shay's not doing his homework. He needs to start doing his homework." And my dad just went, "Yeah, I told him not to. So he's not doing any homework." Yeah, yeah. He said, if you can't teach him what he needs to know in the school day, don't bring him home with it." But then what happened with that? I had to start doing all my homework in form. So I'd get to school at like 8:30 in the morning. And I'm doing work straight off the rip. So he did drop me in it a bit, but yeah, yeah. He's mental. My dad. He didn't give a shit, man. He gave no fucks. He was there like, nah, you're gonna be a fighter, so don't worry about it. But it's worked out,
Sounds like
innit?
they really like believed in you from, I mean, before you even, correct me if I'm wrong, but like before you even really saw that vision for yourself, like you spoke
Oh,
about your dad
100%.
sort of talking about getting you to fight and compete, and like, oh, you're either going to train or work for me, sort of thing, you know.
Mm, mm. Yeah. My dad's really believed in me always. Like he does all my weight cuts. He's done every single weight cut. He'll sit next to me in the bath, like except for the last one, Oban come. So he got a little rest, but he was still there, just chugging along. Like, but he's believed in me since day one. It's mental. Like even when I didn't believe in myself, like he always believed in me. He'd get me up, get me to training. Like some days I was coming back from school and I was there like I don't want to train today, but come on, have your tea, get in the car, we're going to the gym, and I'd feel 10 times better when I come out. So I do owe probably all of it to my mum and dad, sort of thing. Like I think if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here. I would have gave up. But I don't think I'm trying to just think that's much on me. But I think it's just the supportiveness and like how much they've put into me drives me along as well. Like I'm not just doing this for myself; I'm doing this for my family, sort of thing. Whereas like it's not like I need like a Charles Oliveira story where I need money for my family. It's like they've put so much like effort into me; it needs to work out, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think like, I mean, obviously you're aware of how fortunate you are to have
Mm.
parents like that, but like the people around you can have such a huge impact on if you're not. I've seen people with like aspirations, not maybe not competing or whatever, but I've seen people
Mm.
with aspirations of doing something, not just martial arts based, but then somehow they let outside influences, whether it's their parents or their friends or
Yeah.
just fucking the maddest one to me is colleagues, where they let colleagues who are
Mate.
fucking, no offense to them, but losers who have
Yeah,
no
yeah.
aspirations
Yeah.
talk them out of their own goals. And it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like,
Mental,
you
mate.
know,
It's
how can you
mental.
not be how can you not have some kind of mental like, oh, okay, you're saying this, but this is what I'm going to do. If it doesn't work out, cool, but you know.
Yeah. I've always thought like from when the teachers were telling me like, nah, you can't do that. I was like, right, I'm going to show you then. It always like it's quite cliche. Everyone's like, oh, the teachers told me, but like I generally had it where like my maths teacher would be like, it's not going to happen. Like, stop thinking it's going to happen. I'd be like, right, all right, then. I'm going to show you it's going to happen. Even when she told me I don't know. No, you would have had the A system, A, B, C. I had like numbers,
Yeah.
and she told me I was gonna get a 1, and I got a 2. And I went up to her and went, "Ah, look, I got a 2. You told me you were gonna get a 1." And she went, "You still failed." And I was there like, "Yeah, but I got a 2, and you told me I was gonna get a 1." So I'm that person. I'm that person who'll be like, "Ah, you can't beat him in a round," and I'll beat him in a round and go, "I told you I could beat him in a round." Oh, that's the sort of guy I am. Like I'm one of them, but yeah, like you can't let the outsiders, like people who aren't in it, you can't let them like put you off. Like I think if I was in the gym getting battered and the lads in the gym were going, right, Shay, I think you need to make a decision here. That's the people I'd listen to. But like
Hmm.
old Joe Blogs, if I worked in an office job and he's going, you're not doing really well, are you? Oh man. I'll be there like, fuck off, man. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're sat here working a fucking 9 to 5 with me when I'm trying to strive for something else. But some people just like, they're easily convinced, aren't they? That's the sad thing. But the people who aren't, you see where they get to in life.
Yeah, and I think like you kind of sometimes you have to be the person who there's this really like cliche saying of like no one's coming to save you, and it is really true in the sense
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like, you know, you have to be the person to put yourself in the rooms with those more aspirational people.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like for example myself, I work, I'm a chef, and today before this podcast, hence why I suggested doing it at 5,
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
going to work from 8 o'clock in the morning till sort of just gone 3 or so.
Mm.
And yeah, like they're nice people, but they don't have the same drive as me. You know, like
No,
I've
of course not. Yeah,
done a full day of work and now I'm coming home and I'm doing a podcast. I had to prep for the podcast outside of that. I did another podcast a couple of days ago. I got another one tomorrow, and it's like
yeah.
it just there is no if you've. I'm not trying to big myself up. I'm just trying to give the message of like if you've got a goal and you want to achieve something, like you can't make excuses for yourself. You
No,
find the time to fucking do it. You know, like
you got to get it done. Like you're saying, like your colleagues probably do that same shift, go home, don't do anything. Oh, job's
yeah,
over now. Tomorrow morning we'll go back again. Whereas you're coming home,
yeah,
you're doing all that. It's the same as a fighter, isn't it? Like some of these fighters, I see them doing jobs and then comes to the gym and that. I'm there like, you know what, fair play. Like you
yeah,
probably will make it. Like I remember Jai Herbert. I used to train with him on the
mm,
night because I was at school and he was scaffolding. So we trained together on the night. It was mental. It was there like it's crazy. And look where Jai is now, UFC. You know what I mean? Like it works out. Like you can't look at people and think, ah, just because they're doing this, they're not going to make it there. Like some people are wired a bit different, and it's a good job. Like people like us, like Jai, like it works out for them. Lucky enough.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, it is also really easy to, and I've even had it myself, like times where I have let that sort of mentality sort of
Mm.
seep into my brain, and I'm like, no, fuck off, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want something better, and I don't know, I feel like maybe it kind of gets looked down upon sometimes, where someone's like, oh, you think you're better than that? It's like, well, I don't think I'm better than you. I think I'm better than the situation I'm currently in.
Yeah, that 100%, mate. That's a big thing in fighting. It's like you see a lot of fighters go against each other, and it's a bit like, right, I think I'm better than you, and then a lot of people are like, ah, no, no, this guy, blah 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 blah. But it's a mindset thing. Like I believe in myself. I believe I'm going to go in there and win, so I'm going to say it. And then a lot of people, you get like the outsiders who go, oh, look at this guy, he's got a massive ego, blah blah blah. But it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like if I think that, I know I'm going to go do that, so I'm going to say that, and I'm going to go do it. So I think that's 100% right. That's what you should be doing. Like you can't let these bad thoughts come in and then think you can't feel sorry for yourself. Like you're saying, no one's coming to save you. Like I could easily now not train for the next week, sit down and think I've done 9 weeks of camp already, done enough. I'll chill out now, go fight. But if that happens, I'll go get chinned, and then I'll go in there on the night thinking, "Ooh, I had last week off when I shouldn't have had last week off." But like you're saying, no one's coming to save you. You got to get up and you got to fucking go work. You got to go work for this. You're like,
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel like? Because I always struggled with um, competing, and I sort of realized really early on that I don't
mm,
actually want to be a fighter. I love martial arts, like
yeah, yeah,
love training, and I love helping out beginners, and that's awesome. And I fucking love watching it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But competing just isn't my thing, and I know that, and I'm not gonna pretend that it is because it will just get me fucking hurt, and
yeah, yeah,
it's raining down there.
yeah.
Shit. But how do you like? How did you realize that fighting is for you?
um, I think it goes back to just like not doing anything else, sort of thing. Like,
Mm.
just I kind of know I'm not good at anything else. That's quite cliche as well. Everything's quite cliche on this one, but like I'm not really that good at anything else. I was a decent footballer, but I was a goalkeeper, and I'm 5'9", so that wasn't going to work out. So I was a bit like, and I played for the school. That's the only team I played for. So it was just the fact of like, right, I need to like not like I need to believe myself here. Like I remember, like I'm saying, like I went through 9 amateur fights, and I never thought I was going to win. I was like, no, I weren't complacent. I was just happy to get the win. Oh, I got the win here again. Or got the win again. Then I was kind of like working towards the win. I was speaking to that King's Court yesterday, and it was like, I don't care about winning or losing. Of course, I always want to win, but I want to perform. That's the main
Mm.
thing. And like my dad's the same thing. He's like, I'm not nervous for you winning or losing. I'm nervous for you performing. If you go in there and put the best performance of your life, and you drop a split or you drop a unanimous, like I'm happy. At least you've gone in there performed. Like it's one of them. But yeah, I'm not good at anything else, mate. Really, like I can't. I can read. I can write. I can't do it well, but I can count money. And I can beat people up, so I'll stay in this profession for now. That's all I'm gonna say.
But it sounds like you had like a lot of not even just MMA, but a lot of competition from a
Mm,
young age, which
yeah,
is that's just super valuable, right? Like, it's even not even obviously you're. I was about to say 0-4, but 4-0 as a
yeah,
professional.
yeah,
Um, but it's not just. I think a lot of people see the 4-0, but they don't see the amateur record, and then also all of the other competition. You said you've had like 9 jiu-jitsu
yeah,
competitions,
yeah.
and did you mention some kickboxing or something?
Kickboxing, and I competed the British Wrestling Championships twice and won that twice. 2 years on the bounce,
Wow.
yeah. So I've been competing. Yeah, when I look back, I've been competing for like a long time now. Probably like what? Is that 14 years, maybe 13 years? I've been competing for now, which is to
Mm.
be fair, until I'm here now talking about it, I didn't even know that. Like to me, I've
Mm.
only competed since I was 15. Like I'm coming up to
Yeah.
10 years soon. That's all I think about. Like, but when I actually look back, I'm like, wow, I was like 8 years old, having like points fights, continuous fights, then jiu-jitsu comps, then wrestling comps, then I was fighting. Like, it's crazy. But I think like it did a lot for me actually. Like I was a really shy kid. Like if like I wouldn't be doing this now. Like I wouldn't be on a podcast with anyone, talking to anyone, doing interviews. Like, but it does a lot for your confidence. That's another thing with martial arts. Like your confidence, like it really, really, really builds it. And I think you'll know that as well. Like it builds your confidence. Like having to go with people you've never been with before, in have to drill with them for an hour and then roll with them. Like it builds
Mhm.
like just like communication skills and everything really. So yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I mean, we can branch off into that, but just sort of bring it back to my point about the competition is I think like the level that MMA is getting to. I think that's a big reason because of it. Obviously, if you look at the early UFCs, like it was completely different to what it is now. And I think
yeah, yeah.
as it's evolving, and people like yourself are coming through, who you say you had your first competition at like 6 or something.
I think it was 8. I think I was 8 years old. I think
Yeah,
yeah.
it's mental, you know.
Crazy. Yeah,
Like
it is crazy. And there's kids who are younger than me, like at the gym now. Like they're like, oh, I was competing at 4. I'm like, Jesus, 4? Like you're doing it. I know it's like, I know you're not having like a proper like go there when you're 4, like, but still, like you're getting in there and like they have a little tussle and it gets broken up. Oh, here's the winner, here's the loser. Both hands get lifted. But yeah, it's crazy, mate. It's crazy.
yeah, like I didn't even step on the mats until I was 16,
Mm.
16, 17. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and there's kids like you say who, I mean, I've I've seen kids step on the mat at like 2 or 3. You know,
Mental. It's mental, isn't it?
it's
It's
like
mental.
there's
Yeah,
just no
yeah.
way you're going to be able to catch up if you haven't
Mm.
done that. Like, there's just no way you're going to be able to catch up to that. Like, it's the level that the sport is getting to is ridiculous.
It's mental. I used to take a kids class, but like going back to a bit of sacrifice, I had to stop doing it just because of my own career sort of thing. But like
Mm.
some of the kids on there, like they were 8 years old and they could wrestle, like wrestle way better than me. I'm thinking it's going to be some problems in the future. Like I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna get out before these lots start coming through, sort of thing. But it is mental, like you're saying, like. The competition is just going to get better and better and better. Like you're saying, like looking at like even not even like UFC like 60. It's like a Wild West. Like people
Yeah.
just turned up, they had a few scraps and thought, yeah, I can have a good go here, like sort of thing. And then to see it now, you got people like Arman Sarukian. I know he was having an absolute scrap last night on that wrestling thing, but like he's number one contender. He's gonna wrestle some kid who's never been taken down, take him down, and he'll just go have a fight in a few months. It's mental, mate. It's crazy.
Mm. And I think people don't like they don't understand the like people watch an MMA event, whether it's UFC, Cage Warriors, whatever it is, and they'll sit and they'll like criticize it. It's like go and fucking spar that guy, you
Oh,
know,
mate, yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like you would. I can't even explain how you would feel. You would be that helpless.
It's
Like
meant,
I
but
can't actualize the words of how you would feel.
mate. When like I see it all the time in comments, and it's like, I get criticized like, when I picked up and got you, that's too much wasted effort, blah blah blah. I want to comment like, lads, I saw there was 13 seconds left. I was not picking him up if there was about 5 minutes left in that round. Like
Yeah.
you got to look back, but like they're what they call not a backseat driver. Like they're
Keyboard
just
warrior type thing.
keyboard warrior. Like they just sit
Yeah.
on the sofa. They've watched every UFC for the past 3 years and think, I could have a good go
Mm.
at that because I've watched it. But you know, there's always gonna be people. There's people like that watching the football. Oh, why did he make that pass? Why did he shoot there? Blah blah blah. And you're thinking like, well, what would you that you wouldn't even be in that position. So why are you going at it? It's
Yeah,
mental.
and I think there's a difference between like you know commenting on a fight and then being a fucking dickhead for no reason. You know,
Um,
like
People love to do it,
there's a
don't
big
they? They
yeah.
love
Like
they
you can
love they
have
love to do it.
yeah. Like if you're a fan, like I think if you're a fan of say like MMA or even football or whatever, like if you're
Mm.
a fan and you've never played it or trained it, like you're allowed a certain level of opinion. And then
Yeah,
if you've
yeah,
at least like trained it, you're kind of like, oh, okay, you've earned a right to a bit more of an opinion.
yeah,
Obviously, if you
yeah.
compete or whatever, like yeah, sure. But the people who are just absolute just knobheads for no reason.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't get it because like
And
that's the
it always comes from a fake account. It's never an
yeah
actual person. Like, come on, lads. At least if we're gonna get a bit nasty, let's see who you are, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah
Like, come on, let's see who you are. But like, I don't know. That's the problem with this day and age, though. I mean, you can get on Instagram, you can make a fake account, you can say whatever what you want, and you got no repercussions. And that comes back to our point with everyone should do a bit of combat sports because I don't think that
yeah
would happen if that was the case. Like,
yeah
mm,
yeah like and I think it just again going back to that humbling thing of like you sort of go through the levels of like you can spar someone who's like brand new
mm,
and apart from the little spazzy things that they might hit you with, you'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
able to pretty comfortably handle it, And then you sort of move up and move up and move up, and then you get to the point like I was talking about, like sparring even just a pro, you know, like
yeah,
not a
yeah,
like just a lower level pro, and then you get the higher level, and it's like it just makes you realize that there's just like I said, for me, it's that feeling of helplessness that is just like it just makes you so much more respectful towards people.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
sometimes I spar with people. Like I rolled with Danny, who's the head coach at
yeah. Danny
EST.
Batten. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, lovely guy. And I rolled with him, and I was like, "What the
yeah. Just
fuck?"
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like
I've been
a,
there, mate. Yeah. You think it's like,
it's
how have
like
you
a,
even got that? How have you even got it? Like,
yeah,
like, you don't even know how they've set it up. You say like, oh, you know what? Fair play. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I think it just everyone should experience it. In my opinion, I'm such an advocate for
Hundred
it.
percent, 100%, 100%. Like not even in schools. I think like don't even do it in school. Just do it like as soon as like you finish school, right? You gotta go do a jiu-jitsu session. At least just a jiu-jitsu session. I mean, you're not really gonna
Yeah,
get badly hurt doing that. Like you can tap, you can do whatever you want, but like that, I think that to be fair, I think jiu-jitsu should be what it is because it's so like if you got a massive ego, how demoralizing must it be to like go in? There's like a 65 kilo like kid. He goes in, he just
mhm.
throws you around, puts you in our bars, put you in chokes. You're just there like, you know what, fair play. Oh, fair play. Yeah, yeah. Like it would be so much better for the world. Like fucking hell.
Yeah. It's funny when you see the person's demeanor change throughout the session. Like,
Yeah,
they come in and they're all really cocky and arrogant, and they're really sort of like dismissive of people, and then they start getting fucked up, and they're like, "Oh, how did you do that?" Like, and then
yeah,
all of a
yeah.
sudden, you can see them becoming like a nicer person
Mm.
in the session. It's like it would be so beneficial for the world.
You get
Okay.
you get the two ways, don't you? You get like, oh, that oh, he's asking questions. Then you see the other ones. You're there like, yeah, he's not coming back. He's most definitely not coming back. We're not going to see him again all the time. Or Cam will always put on like a hard session, and you'll see some of the new guys who come in like if they've just dropped in. You're looking at them thinking, oh, they're not coming back. They are not
Yeah.
coming back, sort of thing. Like yeah, all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Do you does Subzone have like a? Because I went up to next gen and they were very selective with who they allowed onto the mats. Is it similar at Subzone or like what is that like
Just
there?
it's normally just mess. If you're going to come to the pro session, message the page and Cam will go,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, come in. You know what I mean? This is the how much
nice.
it's going to cost, sort of thing. Yeah, but like, no, I think I went up to next gen to spar, but Jai sorted it. So I think I was
Nice.
just there because Jai sorted it. It was like, oh yeah, go up. But I think yeah, just message the page and if you're not fighting one of the guys or your teammates are fighting one of the guys, I think you'll be sound to get on the mats basically. But on the night sessions, it's drop in,
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
your fee, and then get on with it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was just curious because like I know every gym has like a little sort of different policy on that and
mm.
like it's like yeah, I was more just
Yeah,
curious or
yeah.
anything. Okay, moving into obviously you're competing soon.
Mhm.
Um, the more general questions, I guess that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
how you sort of how you feeling approaching this fight. Like obviously your last performance was well, you said you weren't happy with it, but
No, I'm
um,
never happy with any performance. I'm happy for about 10 minutes when they put a camera in my face and I call out the whole division, and then I sit there and think, what have I done that for one? And then I go, right, I should get this better. But this is the best I've felt for a camp. I mean, if
mm,
that's saying anything, like for my past performances, I mean, I've had no distractions. Like I was in Australia with Oban, in that really bunkered me in there as well, getting the sessions in. Like this is the honestly, it's cliche to say this is probably the best camp I've had. Like I've had injuries in the past where I've gone in. Of course, everyone goes in a bit 50%, not 50%, but like less percent. But I've had like cuts, stuff like that for to deal with. But this one's just been just too perfect. Not too perfect, but you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah,
everything's been perfect. This one, like my weight's a big one for me. I'm quite a big lightweight, but my weight's been perfect this time. I kept it low. Just everything's fallen into place, and I can't wait to just get in there now. Like I'm really, really up for this one. Whereas like a lot of people have told me like, oh, you've never been like this. Like you really, really want to get in there and have this fight, don't you? I'm like, yeah, this is the one I'm really up for, sort of thing. Mm.
yeah. Like I am. Your first pro fight was on Cage Warriors, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's, as far as I'm aware, that's kind of unusual to go straight from amateur to pro, or like straight to Cage Warriors.
I was straight to Cage Warriors, straight on the main card. My first fight was first on
Yeah,
the main card. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I remember getting there thinking, "Fuck, what am I doing here? I'm on the main card. There's lads on the prelims who've had about 5 fights on Cage Warriors. What am I doing on the main card? I shouldn't be here." But chuck me in the deep end, and I'm swimming. I'm swimming quite well at the minute.
yeah, yeah. So your opponent, again, correct me if I'm wrong, is he's the guy who just had the fight with Jordan, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How are you feeling sort of about him as an opponent? Do you really think about that too much?
Uh, Yeah, I do. He's a solid opponent. I mean, look. He's a great opponent. Like, I can't. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, he's crap. Of course, he's not. Like, he put up a real good fight against Jordan. When I watched it, I thought Jordan won. I watch it back. No disrespect to Jordan, it was really, really tight, very tight. Could have been a draw. Maybe it could have gone Modriev's way. Like that. That's what
Yeah,
I was looking at. But I don't know if now I'm giving him too much respect. But like, not too much respect. But I'm looking at thinking he's doing these things really, really well. But the scoring's mental as well. I don't really know how they're scoring this. Jordan did more damage, but there's more control. So I don't know. But
yeah,
I, he's a solid opponent. I mean, I've done a lot of research on him. This is the first fight I've done the research myself. I've had the coaches do it as well, so I'm taking this one really seriously. But it's going to be a solid matchup. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it because it is like the best versus the best, really. I mean, I know we ain't got the bout, but like they call this kid the super prospect. I'm coming up. I could argue we called a super prospect as well, and we're going to get in there and we're going to have the fight. And you know what? Respect to him. I mean, like he signed the contract, but that's enough for me to have a bit of nastiness about me. You think you can beat me, so now I'm going to show you, sort of thing. That's what I'm like. Like that was
yeah,
like that was enough for me. Do you know, like the Michael Jordan thing? That's all I
yeah,
needed. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward.
yeah. That when I saw the fight announced, I was almost a little bit shocked. Like you say, you're both sort of
Mm.
upcoming prospects. I would have just naturally assumed that maybe your paths might cross at some point, but I was just like, oh, they're going together like now. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bit crazy, Not crazy, but like it's a sick fight.
Yeah, yeah. See, I'm in the like Cam really believes in all the boys at the gym, so we don't want an easy road. And I was like that before I got to Cam as well. Like I've never wanted an easy road. I've always said if I can't beat these lads here, I don't. I can't think about where I'm going. Can't think about the
Mm.
UFC. If I can't beat these lads, I can't go there. So I want the hard. Like if you look at the lads I've beat or fought, Mark Ngannou, I'm a silver medalist, 18-4 amateur. That was my debut. I had a short notice fight against Diamantis, the Greek kid. He was 3-1, wow to weight, come down. Then I had Farouk Aligajev, 4-1 Dagestani. Then I had 7 days notice, Wellington Lopez, 7-4, kickboxing champ, everything. I mean, I haven't had an easy road, and I still don't want an easy road because I asked for Torpal last time. He was actually booked against Ewan Davis on my card, and then Ewan Davis pulled out of an injury. Then he got Jordan. I was like, you know what, fair play, like good on him, like sort of thing. But I'm glad we've got this one now, and I think it's the right thing to do. I mean, Cage Warriors is the best European promotion. The best should be fighting the best, sort of thing. Like that, we don't need to avoid each other. No one wants to avoid each other. So let's just fight, sort of thing. Like that's what I'm always about. I'm like, let's just fight. Let's see who's the best then. And he's exactly the same. He's clearly exactly the same. Like he signed the contract. He's turning up on March 14th. So we're going to see who's the best.
Nice, man. Whilst you're on here, obviously you're fighting, like say March 14th. But is there anything else you want to promote or shout out or anything?
My sponsors, all my sponsors. I'm not going to list them. There's quite a few, but all my sponsors, my fans. Number one, as you know, you come to the fights. You can hear my fans from the time they get in there at 6 o'clock till about 4 hours after I've fought. They'll sing the same song over and over again. I'm not going to sing it, but you'll hear that. All my fans, thank you. I've done a lot of tickets this time. Tickets are still available, of course. Use my link in the bio, please. I need to be paid. And that's it, really. Yeah, yeah. All my coaches, my teammates are helping me out. Got one last push this week, then we're in fight week, and then we're gonna get the job done.
Nice, man. Well, thank you for coming on the show, Shay.
Thanks for having me on, mate. I really enjoyed it.